crazy, bro. crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro. crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro.
That's it right there.
For us guys, Zabel was like the godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now. For us guys, Zabo is like the godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. As you know, today is the day that you hear some real talk, some real conversation, and get you some real news. Welcome everybody to No Days Off Radio Productions,
Welcome.
the home and host of the number one show in the land, Nothing But the
The
Truth,
Truth.
with Big Jeff of YSL Loaded and Shanita.
Absolute justice now.
Absolute justice now. We want to apologize for us not being able to talk to all people last week. And we're going to try to make sure that that never happens again, regardless of what goes on. And we want to just send a shout out to the world and welcome you all and thank you all for being a part of this show this year. Yeah. This is our beginning of the year situation, and we got a lot of shit to talk about this year. A lot to talk about.
Yes.
I want to start off today by, letting everybody know that Shanita and myself was invited to attend the inauguration. And we will be there alive and well, doing what we do.
Yes.
Doing what we do. And that's representing you all, representing our people, to make a stand to try to get a lot of things changed in our city.
That's right.
And hope that it flourishes and it goes out to become a real legacy for protecting the people in the U.S. In all cities. That's what we are about. We ain't about just one particular entity. We're about everybody that's going through something in life.
Worldwide.
And we want to invite you all again. Anybody that wants to come is welcome to come, and you're welcome to sit in and tell your story. This show is about telling your story. This show is about telling, acknowledging to the world some of the things that you have went through in the justice system. In life itself. This show is not all about just the corruption in the judicial system. It's about your life, period. And if you want your story to be heard, you're welcome to attend Nothing But the Truth.
That's
as
right.
long as you're doing just that, telling nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the absolute truth, right?
All right, so we're going to get this show started. We're going to try not to hold y'all too long today. And today's show is about the continuous corruption that's going on in the Fulton County. And I just want to share something with everybody to give you the heads up. I want everybody to start reaching out to your loved ones that's incarcerated.
Please.
The ones who have court dates coming up that's got to be dealt with, situation that they're in, situation that they have to go and, stand before a judge and have to be, either convicted or denied. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they be denied. Hopefully that their cases go away by them being found not guilty or by the cases being dismissed or they get a lenient sentence that fits the case.
Absolutely.
Not a lenient sentence because somebody trying to prove a damn point. Give them a lenient sentence, that fits their case. Give them the proper sentence that fit their case, in other words. I want to share this story. This is a story that happened, a week or so ago of a young man that was incarcerated in Fulton County. And this young man did the same thing that Yak Gotti did. He wound up getting into an altercation in the jail, and some kind of way, this altercation made this kid become a member of the YSL RICO, which is senseless. And the reason being is because the charge that he got, we just put it up on the on video.
Right.
So that you all can see. This young man's name is Malik Drummond. This young man was incarcerated in Fulton County. He got into some trouble, and the trouble that he got in, it was with Mr. Eppinger, that was part of the YSL RICO, who's, the one that's the young man that they say shot the police officer, and he was charged with a charge that didn't make any sense. We got to understand these people are in jail. Let's make that known to Fulton County and to the people. These kids are in jail, man.
In your custody.
In their custody. That's supposed to be being protected by these people. And to allow them to have incidents in the jail and charge them with it months or years later is senseless. First of all, if you're in jail and you get into an altercation with someone, that should be taken care of right then.
Absolutely.
Right then. Unless you give a person a free world charge, and a free world charge means, a point according to how severe the case, the incident is, yeah, you can get a free world charge, as they called it, or in-house charge that turns into that is a felony. That's understandable. But to charge a man with a charge, take them before a judge or before the board, and give them take disciplinary action against them. Okay, that case should be done with. In this situation, the case wasn't done with. I guess once somebody seen what, paid attention, so to speak, to what happened, they decided to double jeopardy this kid. And I want us to understand that these are our loved ones who's fighting these battles in these jails and in these courtrooms now. If we don't support them, they're going to lose. They are going to lose. So here's a young man who's already in custody, gets a charge in the jail, gets dealt with for what he done, what the incident he did in jail, or had, that occurred in the jail. And then turns around and he's indicted. And in his indictment, they take him to court ASAP. ASAP. Try to charge this young man with aggravated assault, and some other charge on doing something to an inmate, this, that, and third. And then offers him a plea deal for something that he has already pled to. And actually tried to take it to the limit and prosecute him. This kid actually helped himself by saying to his attorney, I guess, that he had already taken a plea for this charge. He had already dealt with this charge. When was they going to acknowledge that to his attorney? When was his attorney going to find out that he had already, been dealt with this case? So his attorney had to do their job by investigating what their client said to them. Come to find out it was true.
Wow.
It was true. So his client, his attorney immediately.
How did they even accept the plea without his attorney's knowledge?
In this senseless. So now, if his attorney doesn't do what she had to do to defend him, as an attorney does, the case had to be dismissed.
Shout out to Caleb Bumpus.
Shout out to Caleb Bumpus. Shout out to Kayla Bumper. She's really one of those people. You know, regardless of how people think about her or feel about her or however the case is, you know, she's really helping these guys. She's really helping these guys, and she's going to the forefront against an organization that really despises her. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's clear to see now that they really despise her. You know, and we got to protect her. We got to be her protector as well, because eventually they're going to try a stunt on her. Trust me. That's how Fulton County rolling right now. It's every man for himself, unless you just an ignorant ass fool working in Fulton County and not seeing that. Because it's going to be a lot of things come up. It's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen that people going to have to make a decision on. Do I want to go to jail or do I want to tell what's going on? Ain't that something? Hey, man, we talking about some rats.
They got a few days and counting.
We talking about some rats. It's going to be a whole lot of rats in a minute that we going to find out about. A whole lot of them. And I'm talking about big house rats. I'm talking about them project rats that sit by the dumpster and look like a little miniature football. You know, trust me, I done seen them all. I stayed in the projects. I'm from the projects, and I represent the project to the fullest. To the fullest. But these people are going to be dealt with eventually. But what I want to ask my people is to let's pass the word. You know, I don't know a lot of people, you know, these guys who's, you know, from Atlanta that's incarcerated in Fulton County. So I want to talk to their people, their families. You know, and if you know their families and you know they don't listen to this show, or they probably don't even have an idea of this show right now. But I want to ask all our listeners and viewers to reach out to anybody, to any families you know that has a little one locked up in Fulton County, and tell them to acknowledge to their people that's incarcerated that if something like this should come to you, make sure you can find somebody who is for you, to represent you. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you don't make the mistake that this young man almost had to make.
And don't throw your money away to an attorney that's on the politic side.
That's right. So, you know, don't get those political ass attorneys. You know, see, some attorneys, we got to understand, some attorneys want to see your ass in jail. Because, believe it or not, you know, as bad as it may seem and as bad as this might sound, some of these attorneys hope your ass can stay in jail. They represent you because you spend your money with them. You know, but a lot of these attorneys feel like these guys that's catching these gang charges and these violent charges, you know, as gang members and this, that, and the third, as street criminal gang members, we're going to start addressing that like it's supposed to be addressed. Because being a gang member is not illegal. It's not illegal. Being a criminal street gang member is what's illegal. And it makes that illegal because they have to show that you are a gang of people who's committing crimes in the streets for personal gain. So let's make that known to our people. You can sit in the courtroom and say that I'm part of a gang. You can tell someone you part of a gang as long as it's not a criminal street gang.
And as long as you're not committing any crimes. And as long as
you're not committing crimes
right.
as a gang member or as a group. So, you know, be mindful when you go in that courtroom or when someone come and drop this paperwork in front of you and the only thing they saying is gang. Understand what they are saying to you. They are addressing it. Thank God for this YSL case. They address it as criminal street gang. When all these guys take pleas, they don't take pleas to be in a gang. These pleas do not have the word, just the single word gang in it. They say criminal street gang, known as such and such, such and such, such and such. So let's start paying attention to what people say, how they say it, how they address it. You know, and not only that, pay attention to everything that's being said in the courtroom. You know, don't sit there looking like you know what the hell they talking about. You understanding what the hell they talking about, and then they ask your ass, do you understand what we're saying to you? And your ass sit there and say, yeah. Knowing you ain't got a clue about 3 of the words they just said in the plea or on the paperwork reading the plea. Or just speaking in general in court. That's why they do that, ladies and gentlemen. They use words, they use these big words, knowing that you don't know what the hell they mean. Ask them what they mean. Ask them what the word that they are using mean. They'll explain it to you. And if they don't, make sure you keep their ass saying something to you until you get it. Mm-hmm. You know, when I coach football, one of my pet peeves is to my players that I'm coaching, that I'm teaching. You only coach during the game, on game day. But during practice, as a teacher, I acknowledge to all of my players that I coach, that I teach. If you don't know, just say you don't know. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's even at home. That's at work. That's anywhere. If someone asks you a question and you don't understand what they're saying or you don't know what they're saying, you can't comprehend it to understand it, just say, I don't know. Or ask them, tell me what it means. Tell me what you mean by what you're saying.
Right. You
know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because if you don't know, you just don't damn know. You just don't know. But don't sit there and say, yeah, you understand something, knowing you don't understand it. You know, in the court system, this is your freedom you talking about. You supposed to be serious. You should want to know what every word come out their mouth mean when they talking to you or about you.
That's what anything though, as far as important.
So it is. We gotta be mindful now. We gotta be real mindful, as you all should be able to see now for 35 months. You gotta be mindful of what you say now. Why we have gotten to this point, I still don't get it. I still don't understand it. Because if we living by the laws that's instilled in our lives, you got freedom of speech. You should be able to say what the hell you want to say.
Right.
Regardless. You shouldn't have to be being careful on what you say now, how you talk now. Everything we speak on in life is an opinion. That don't make it true. It's an opinion. When you talking and having a conversation and it's a back and forth, that's a debate. And that's all debates are. Everyone is speaking their opinion. Everyone is saying how they feel about something. Everybody's giving a direction of, this is something that I feel like I understand off of this situation. So it becomes that debate. They got a movie I watched one time called The Debaters. Hey, man, I love that movie. I love that movie because they did it starting from really elementary school to high school to college. When I was in school, long time ago, we had a club. We actually had clubs in school that was called the debate team. We need to bring that shit back. We need to bring that back to school. We need to bring all of the old clubs that we had in school.
Right.
We need to bring it back. Because that's what's hurting our kids. That's what's hurting these kids in graduating, going on to have a career, whether it's go to college, military, everyday work, because we learned how to deal with things in school. Mm-hmm. Now we don't do that. Teachers don't have to teach anymore. And that's not good. Our kids should not be learning from a damn computer. They shouldn't. So here we are dealing with situations like jail, to where our loved ones are in jail, not having access to the proper means to help themselves. And I'm not saying that the means aren't there. They don't have access to it because they don't have enough people, as they say, working in the jail to monitor you, to go to these different places in the jail, to try to read up on your cases, to try to help yourself. Right. And you got a lot of these deputies who's playing a role in it. Ain't no way. There's no way you should be in a pod that people are allowed to come out one person at a time. One person at a time. In some kind of way, you wind up in an altercation with somebody that's supposed to be somebody that you have something against.
An
or you
alleged
got a alleged op, right, as y'all call it.
Right.
That's not because somebody slid a damn door. That's not because somebody, put something in the door so it don't lock or don't close or whatever the case might be, because, the rule in the jail is when everybody's locked down, the officer's supposed to go by each and every door and make sure it's locked. That means it's secured. So if it becomes unsecure, when after the officer checks it, we should have a problem with that. We should have a problem with that. There's no jail, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't have a count time. For those of you all who have never been to jail or never been to prison, all prisons, all jails, probably damn near at the same time every day, does what we call a count time. Mm-hmm. That means they count and make sure that every person that's in that jail is in that jail. That's called a count. Every correctional facility does a count. Trust me, ask your loved ones. You probably haven't been on the phone with them sometime when they say, I got to get off the phone because it's count time. Or I got to go because it's time for us to be locked down. See, lockdown is just like count. It's just another way of saying count time. You know what I'm saying? When they say we got locked down, if they don't tell you it's for a particular reason, it's mainly for count. They just say lockdown. All right? So, there's many ways that it can be brought out how, some of these turnkeys, as we used to call them, allows these people to have their doors jimmied where they can slide it. Some of these officers they'll unlock the door. Say for instance, your loved one have an incident with one of the turnkeys or one of the COs. The officer got people in the jail too. that can't wait to do something. That can't wait to try to slide up on somebody and get their man or have a fight with somebody they want to have a fight with. These officers are aware of that. We got to understand, these officers who work in these jails are from here. They from the city that they living in. They from the state that they living in. Some of them come from out of town, get them a job at the jail. Because, you know, whether you all aware of it or not, a lot of time in a lot of countries, as we call it, the country, you know, if you go to any country, everybody in the country, damn near work at the jail, at the slaughterhouse, at the chicken plant, at the goddamn car plant, you know, because this is all they have in their city. It's the country. And everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other. So it's easy to do. It's no different than being in the city. The people who work in the jails in the city from the city damn near. All of us have someone we graduated with from high school that's working in a correctional facility.
Right.
At some point. You know, so it's basically on the judicial system. This how they make their money. They make money off your ass in jail. They make money off you in the court system now. Absolutely. And for those who cases are severely impossible to release you on, now they'll give you a bond. They'll give you a bond on 4 murders. They give you a bond on a murder, armed robbery. You know, the 7 sins of the correctional facility, or the correctional institution, is supposed to be unbondable. But as we can see, that's not true. That's not true. You know, that's not true. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying, you know, we should take more consideration of the severeness of the case on to set the bonds. Here you had 29 people that was accused of being criminals in a criminal street gang. And none of them was able to receive a bond. None of them received a bond. 1 or 2 people out of that whole group received bonds. Now here we got Polar Yak Gotti, went all the way to the end with his case.
Yes.
Was found not guilty. And he's still sitting in jail facing charges.
Still there, y'all.
Still there. We need to do something about that. To where here's a young man who was charged with a warrant that wasn't even on him. Till after the fact. You put a warrant on a man for probation violation after the fact that he have sat in jail for 31 months. For 31 months, you mean to tell me no one had the idea that he's in jail, we need to put a warrant on him for probation violation of an old case, which is which is one of the cases that they have his indictment under. That's crazy. If he done already pled to it, how did you charge him with it again? That's double jeopardy. Damn it, being in a RICO, that's double jeopardy. He's already dealt with his situation. You know, we got to come together, people, as a people now. Because with what they're doing to our loved ones at Fulton County right now, they don't deserve that.
They don't.
There's no way you can be already in jail, have already pled to a charge, And then just because some people have put together this conspiracy to say that we're going to charge all of these guys with gang charges because somewhere down the line they are tied to each other some kind of way. So we're going to make them criminal street gang members. Really? And we're going to re-indict them. And then that's how we're going to get a plea from them. We're going to re-indict them under gang charges, make them plea to it, tie their ass up. I'm getting to the punchline. Tie their ass up in society to where they can't be outside functioning in society. All because we have these events coming to Atlanta, which is the World Cup, which is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Mm-hmm. You got the Super Bowl coming. You got this other shit coming to Atlanta. Yeah. You know, we got a lot of big events coming to this city. Mm-hmm. So that's part of what all of this is based on top of this bullshit cop city they building. This YSL RICO case has created a tremendous amount of money for this city to get prepared for a lot of events that's coming to this city, for a lot of things that's happening in this city. None but least is also helping cover up a lot of stolen money that's being stolen from our system.
Talk about it.
There's some people living real good off of this YSL money. It's enough people living good off of it other than the YSL family. The YSL family ain't living good off of it. And we the most important people of the case. I got loved ones that's been falsely accused to prove it. You know, so it's peanuts and popcorn. Sit back and enjoy the show. Sit back and enjoy this movie. We're looking at a movie that's being openly acted out. That is live. This is a live movie that we have watched, that we have been watching for 33, 34 months now. This is a live movie. You know, so, you know, if it's going to become a movie, you can best believe that. It's going to become a movie when all the smoke clear. But right now, they are trying to make all the money they can off of this YSL RICO shit. They are. You know, it's to where almost every day now, someone is going in a courtroom at Fulton County under a YSL charge. Damn near every day. Trust me, I be there. I go down now. You know, and that's why I go down now. So I can see the work. I can see these games being played. That's why I said in the press conference, it ain't over for us. It's ending for the people who decided to stay in trial. But it's still not over for my family. It's still not over for us. Because I still got loved ones that's in there fighting for no apparent reason. All because the DA has a personal vendetta against my son. You know, so this is just another segment of a young man being falsely imprisoned. This young man has had to almost face double jeopardy. And I'm gonna show you why they doing it and getting away with it, because our loved ones have too much goddamn pride and ego to call home and acknowledge to the family, which are the only people who can help your ass in these situations, is your damn family. And let them know that what these people are trying to do to them, because they don't understand. They think, hey man, these people just charge me with this, that, and the other. But it's not right. And the families need to know that. These cases that they're just throwing upon your loved one at this point of the game is not right. So we as a family and we as their support, we need to stand firm with them and make sure that they get the proper justice that they're supposed to get. And that's by being there for them. We need to be there for our loved ones. You know, if you call to the board of pardon and parole, they have some people down there. You can go down to the board of pardon and paroles, and you can talk to somebody, and sometimes they'll acknowledge to you. The only reason, this has been something ongoing for years. The only reason that a lot of our loved ones are sitting in jail, just rotting, is because we don't support them.
Sad.
If you supported them, they'd have been at home. And it ain't too late. It's not too late to start supporting them, to get them out of these systems, man. A man done did 20, 30, 40, 50 years. He don't have a purpose in life no more. The only thing you can do is put him on the street. You know, and that's something that we need to fight for too, for our loved ones. When our loved ones be done sat under jail for amount of years, and my daughter made me, one of my daughters made me understand this, you know, and because she said it repeatedly to us when one of my sons came home. She said, Daddy, it's a doggone shame that these people will let somebody do all this time in jail, in prison, and then they just throw them out on the street. They come home and they lost. She said, my brother is lost, Daddy. She said, when I pay attention to him and watch him, how he move and how he act and the things he say, she said, my brother needs some help. She said, we need to get my brother some help, Daddy. He need to go talk to somebody. And once I paid my son some attention, I saw it. I saw exactly what she was talking about. And it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm trying to put that in the system and make that part of these men being put back on the street after doing a lot of time. You know, I respect the feds for that. Because when you go federal, before they release you back to the street, they send you to the halfway house and you have to work your way back into society. And that's good. That's good. Now we need to put it in the state and the county, that these young men be entered in some type of program before they are just released back into the street.
Because they don't follow up when they're released.
You know, thank you. You know, so, you know, they need to catch up with society, man, because, you know, for every year you sit in a prison, man, you 10 years behind.
Exactly.
You know, so she right. My daughter was right on what she said. From paying attention to her brother and how he was when he came home.
Yeah, it's sad.
He was lost.
Yeah.
So now he's back in jail and he has figured it out. So we are helping him while he's in jail now. We're talking to him. We're counseling him. We're making sure he talks to a counselor, the whole 9 yards. That's what we got to do, people. We gotta come to the forefront for our people. They need our support. They need it. They really do need it. You know, so let's put that in effect and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I want everyone to promise me that you're going to call somebody, whether it's a family member or somebody you know with a family member that's incarcerated. And I want y'all to give them this knowledge. Give them this knowledge. Let them know that in order to help these kids get out of jail, our loved ones get out of jail, or at least get comfort in jail, to understand that I got somebody I need to go home to because I got people who love me.
Right.
Some of these guys are in a position to where they feel like I got to be like this because don't nobody care.
Don't nobody care. Right.
Let's show our loved ones we care. Let's show them. Let's beat out for them. Let's make the system so sick of us till they say, we're going to get these niggas out of here. And I said niggas. No cut on it. We're going to get them out of here. We got to get them out of here now because too many people speaking for them. Show up at those court hearings. Show up at these trials. You know, even if you can't stay there but for a few minutes, at least you came. At least you supported. You know, we all have lives too. I understand that. I get it. But when you don't have anything to do, you off that day, go sit down there with your loved one.
Right. Or somebody else's loved one.
Or somebody else's.
Right.
Big Jeff done went in all the courtrooms. That's when they'll tell you they watch me.
He has.
They watch me. I'm there to support these kids because they don't know. They don't know. They don't have a clue. And I try to meet some of them. I try to talk to some of the families and try to give them an understanding. You know, it ain't just, I'm not there just for us. I'm there for, like I say, I'm there to support everybody that's incarcerated, that's going through some of this bull crap Fulton County putting down.
We have a good suggestion from Jason Hodges. He said, or maybe even like write, good letters to the parole board. That's a great idea, Jason.
Yeah, you can do that. You can write the parole board. You can write the parole board. You know what I'm saying? You know, the thing about sending letters, to me, when you send letters to places like that, you need to know who to direct it to. It need to go to a particular person, because if not, it's going to go to 513. Trust me, it's going to go to 513. You know, anything that's coming in about an inmate, I guarantee you it's very rarely looked at. You know what I'm saying? But if you send it to a particular person, then it's different. Then you got something to stand on. You know, because you wind up going to court with your loved one. The reason I'm saying that is because, and you say, well, I wrote a letter, and they say, well, the first thing they're going to ask you is who you send the letter to? The parole board. That can be anybody.
Right.
But if you can say, I sent it to Officer so-and-so, or Miss so-and-so, or Mr. so-and-so, then you got to direct it.
A name. Because
you got a name. Mm-hmm. Always ask, who am I speaking to when you call these places? Always get it. Just like they ask you your name, you can ask them their names. It's no different. Trust me, it's no different. We got the same rights they got. We just need to exercise our rights like they do. And when they make a mistake, we need to make them be responsible and make them be accordingly dealt with like they do us.
Right. So that's something I hope President Trump is able to implement. I hope, I know that he is pro-police. I know that. But I do hope that with his experience and his 34 felonies, that he's able to implement a new law or a new bill or something. Whereas if the opposing party, like if the DA and all of those are found to be corrupt or unjust, like Yak Gotti, he sat there for 3 years and he's not guilty. How do we get compensated? How does he get compensated for that time?
That's right.
Right. So there
right.
needs to be something in place, whereas we can go back and say, okay, we beat this charge, but what happened all these 3 years when I was here and I lost family members? I didn't see my kids. I was away from my family during this time. How can you guys compensate? How can the government compensate me back for the time spent? Or what about the attacks that happen inside the jail that goes unreported?
Being in jail.
Right.
And that go with being in jail, man. That's a part of being in jail.
Right. I mean, yes, a part of being in jail, but they pick and choose which cases to prosecute at their advantage. Like, there's a lot of attacks in jail every day.
Thank you. Every day.
Every day. So what makes Yak's case so important that you got to press charges on him?
Thank you.
Only because he beat those charges.
But you press late charges.
Right.
You put late charges on this kid.
Because they thought they were going to win in the trial.
Thank you.
Since they didn't, they were like, we got to find something.
You put late charges on the kid because he beat a case.
Right.
Something that he fought for. It's not like he walked in there and they said, well, okay, Mr. Yak, we're going to let you go. This kid fought his case to the end. And you waited to put more charges on him? For what? Mm-hmm. For what? And in-house charges at that.
Like, where's your supervision?
6 months ago charges. Not right now. This kid had just got stabbed in his damn head a day coming to court.
Right.
Before coming back to court. What about that charge? And then you say, I'm trying to figure out how can you say someone that's locked up in a jail and gets into an altercation, how can you determine who's the aggressor? They in jail. Everybody in jail is the aggressor because you got to protect yourself if you get into an altercation.
Yeah.
It's not a particular person to be an aggressor in that situation. It ain't like you be there, Sheriff Labatt, to know what's going on in your jail, because you don't be there. You can only go on what they tell you and what y'all edit to make the video look good.
Preach.
What y'all edit to make the body cam look good. But we looking at an incident where 2 inmates gets into an altercation after walking around the pod 10, 15 minutes before it happened. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? How is that possible when there's somebody sitting in a tower watching both of them? They have intercoms people in the dorm, in the pod, that an officer can mash a button or however he had to do it and tell both inmates, go to your room.
Exactly.
And if they don't, they have a particular group of people that they can call to come in and put their ass in their room by force or by choice.
Right.
There's no way possible that's supposed to happen. But if you sit there and watch it for 10 or 15 minutes, this video is that long before the altercation jump off. That would make me feel like I was plotted on.
Exactly.
Especially when I'm in a lockdown dorm that has rules that no one is to be out on the floor at the same time. That every man is allowed to come out of the cell one by one. Mm-hmm. How is that possible? You know, we got to make it make sense.
Same thing was going on in the Georgia prisons. All the killings, they don't care.
The jail should never, the county jail should never be worse than a prison.
And it is.
Prison got more freedom. Jail, you are locked down. How can you say I'm locked down 23-1 and then call home and say, I just got into a fight?
Stabbed in the head, right.
Really? How can you call home and say, they got me and Max, and they let us out one at a time, and then you say, I got to fight with the goddamn dude up the hallway from me? How? Y'all wasn't supposed to be out at the same time.
Who strategically let you both out at the same time?
There you go. Who strategized that?
Right.
Who? Who orchestrated that? Who paid for that to happen? You know, so let's, as families, let's hold the COs responsible for it. If your loved one get into a fight from this point on and they in one of those cell blocks that don't allow them to be out at the same time, make an attack on the officer. You can charge that officer. You can charge that officer for your loved one's safety, because that's why they are there. That's part of their job description. That's part of them being in the watchtower so that they can monitor these inmates.
Yes. Supposedly.
So if that happened to your loved one, that means either that guard in the watchtower had something to do with it, or he wasn't there when he's supposed to have been there. And there's no way he's supposed to be outside of that tower unless he's checking his flows or going to lunch. Even when he go to lunch, he has a relief. He has somebody to relieve him.
Right.
So either or, it don't supposed to happen.
And actually, while Big Jeff was just speaking, we just got some news that just happened. Actually, a few hours ago, President Trump has his Georgia Court of Appeals case that Fonnie tried to. Well, actually, she had filed an appeal because Judge is it McAfee had dropped some of Trump's charges out of his indictment. So DA Fonnie Willis, she appealed the judge dismissing some of Trump's charges. She appealed to the higher court. And now that court has just came back with the decision just a few minutes ago where they are affirming that President Trump charges will remain dismissed.
Ain't that so?
Another win for President Trump.
Ain't that so?
He is not BSing with Fonnie Willis in Fulton County at this point. Keep on.
So that's why we gotta go on and unite as people in this city. We got to get this woman out of our city because she has corrupted our city to the fact that, well, people are scared of losing their jobs, so they play on a role in this corruption. You know, there is people who have lost their jobs at Fulton County because they didn't participate in the corruption of Fonnie Willis. It's people who have lost their jobs because they have spoken out on the corruption that Fonnie Willis is doing in the Fulton County courts.
Yeah.
In Fulton County as the district attorney. You understand? So
right.
This woman is from Inglewood, California, y'all. The if gang that she's participating in. You know, there's no if gang in Georgia. The if gang is if gang of California. That's where she's from. How can you bar a person from a city that they are from? Where they gonna go? What else do they know? Because I'm guaranteeing you, if she wasn't in the position she was in politically, she wouldn't be in Atlanta. She wouldn't be in Atlanta. She'll say it's too rough. She'll say it's this. But you know, what I don't understand is, and I just had a debate with some of my friends on, if Atlanta is so bad as people trying to make it be, what the hell you come to live here for?
It's not.
If Atlanta is just that bad to you, that, you know, you feel like Atlanta is just, man, it's just off the chain, why did you move here? Why move here? Stay where you at. Stay where you at. Stay in your city. Stay in the place that you're from. You know, continue to deal with what is going on in your city. And I want to reiterate this to the other podcaster before we go off. And I challenged you all a few months ago to use your podcast as a filter for the people in your city that's going through something. You know, people in your city that's being accused of things that they, you know, unsure of they are doing, you know, the whole 9 yards. Talk about some of the big wheels in your city, and then let's try to put something together for all of them, or come together as a united podcast system. And let's talk to each other about it. We can Zoom show to show. And let's talk about it. Let's put this shit out here for our people to hear, and for them to be knowledgeable on what actually going on in our city. That's corruption. Because it's in all of our cities, not just Atlanta. Right now, Atlanta is big on it because otherwise, say a RICO case. But what if we don't have the YSL RICO case? We wouldn't be having all this shit going on. We wouldn't be having all these podcasts and, you know, news sightings, and, you know, even the damn news doesn't turn into podcasts now. Let's be for real, man. Let's be for real. But everybody, you know, everybody other than Nothing But the Truth, No Days Off Radio, is asking y'all to hit that like button. Go on and subscribe, all this old shit. Man, what you doing it for? Is you really doing it for your people? Because understand this, podcasters, and I'm speaking to all podcasters. If you were talking about something on your show that meant something to your listeners and to your viewers, you wouldn't have to ask them to do it. If they like what you're talking about and they like what you got going on and they support what you're doing, you don't have to ask them for nothing. You don't have to ask them to subscribe. You don't have to ask them hit that like button, this, that. If your ass go on every day, that should tell you they like you anyway.
It's just a friendly reminder.
Or they like what you talking about. You don't have to be reminded when your ass being seen every day. See, we don't be seen every day. We be seen once a week. And that's sometime. Mm-hmm. But every time we get ready to tune in and everybody know that Big Jeff and Shanita is about to come on, they start talking to each other. You know, and I love that. I love to see y'all talking to each other on the comments. I love that. I love that. Heartful. That's heartfelt to me. I love to see y'all. That's because you doing what I'm doing this show about, and that's uniting. We unifying. I'm trying to bring us together just like that. So if we have to have a conversation to bring us together, shit, let's go. Let's go. I don't have a time limit on how I talk, how long I'm gonna talk, whatever. As long as my people talking to me, goddamn it, I'm gonna talk to them. That's the good part, you know. As Slime used to say, Slime is Jeffrey. Slime is Young Thug. When I say Slime, that's what I'm talking about. Slime used to have this thing he used to say, and when I heard him say it the way he said it, I wanted to say it like he said, but I can't say that shit like that. He's a rapper. And we can be having a conversation and we can be talking about something when it's something that he likes or he, you know, enjoys or he feel comfortable with, he'll say, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this show. That's the beauty of it. To see you all talking to each other, you know, and relating, being able to relate to the show. Some of these shows, man, the comments don't even relate to the damn show. Because everybody's talking about wah, 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 wah. Sound like a Charlie Brown movie. You know, so when I look down at this monitor and I see you all talking to each other and I see you all giving each other, you know, words of encouragement, this, that, and the third, man, I love that. I love that. Big Jeff love all y'all. God love everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I don't have an op. My ops is the people who tries to keep us separated. Those are the ops. So let's make these podcasts to start doing something different. Let's make them start talking about something different. It's something else going on other than YSL. There's a lot of shit going on. Let's speak on it.
A lot of stuff, right?
Hey man, you got people killing each other. You got people killing each other at their homes. We done started having people commit suicide, man. Let's see what that's about. Let's try to get an understanding on why our people killing them themselves now. We didn't do that. We didn't grow up doing that. Taking your own damn life. Some things are not mental. Some things are not mental. We just had a fool drive a truck down Bourbon Street, running people the hell over. What's causing this? Is the shit in the air? You know, we got kids going to school, cutting loose with automatic weapons, killing people, killing kids. What's causing this? My theory, this is my opinion. My opinion on the way these kids are acting out in a violent manner is because of the games we allow them to play. We allow our kids to play too many criminal-minded games to where they play that shit all day. As long as you don't say nothing to them, they play it all day. Do y'all understand that we have a thing in us called an inner conscience? These kids see this all day from playing it, and then they go to sleep. When you go to sleep, your inner conscience is woke. That's why we dream. That's part of why we dream. So if this is what you done saw all day, when you go to sleep, it's programmed. It's programmed. Now your inner conscience is programming it in and locking it in. You got these kids playing games like what this shit called Grand Auto Theft. Grand Theft Auto, whatever the hell it is. Come on now. I sat down and watched my son them play that game one day, and then to see kids playing, Call of Duty. Then you got Call of Duty. That's a game that Slime and Gunna was in.
Yeah.
Other artists is in that game. See, that's how you know that the industry and other people are paying attention to what controls our asses. Hey man, who wouldn't buy a Call of Duty game if they knew Slime and Gunna was in it? Who wouldn't buy a video game if you didn't know one or two other artists in it? I seen a demo where it was like 8 or 9 different artists in the damn game. And it's for personal gain. It's for money. It's for money. These people ain't dumb. Whoever was sitting behind their little computer and said, I'm finna create a game and I'm gonna put some of these rappers in it. I'm gonna put some actors in it. I'm gonna put some, some ball players in it, this, that, and the other. Don't you know the manufacturer of that game couldn't wait for you to do that for them? Let's be for real, man. Let's make it make sense. We got children who's actually riding around or walking around stealing cars, trying to drive the damn cars. Robbing people on the street. All the shit that I seen in this video game. Everything I seen in this video game is being acted out by the children. Come on, people, let's not kill our kids' mentality like that. And then as soon as they go to the damn doctor, you got an ignorant ass motherfucker sitting there saying, well, they mentally challenged. No, the hell they ain't. They know what the hell they doing. Everything is being chumped off as mentally challenged. That's an excuse, man, not to help your ass.
I don't think
That's an excuse. Hey, we weren't mentally challenged when I was growing up. You know why? Because we had this thing that people got away from when we were growing up, when your ass felt like you were mentally challenged, called whoop your ass. You were mentally challenged until your parents whooped your ass. Then all your senses click back in.
Real quick.
So, damn the medication. Do what you supposed to do. Whoop that ass. Ain't nothing wrong with disciplining your children. Because if you don't discipline them, look at who's going to discipline. Look at who's going to do it for you. And it's going to cost you 3 times as much as that whipping would have cost. So why not? Why not? And it's sad that the system took that away from us because that's biblical. Use the rod, spoil not the damn child. So you're going to take something that God put out for us morally as a rule and go against it? What devil did that? And it worked for a long time. Because for a long time, a lot of us were scared to whoop our children.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna whoop them children because they gonna lock me up. Lock me up.
Right.
Lock me up. Get your goddamn, get your bracelets and come on. Cause I'm gonna chastise mine. So that you won't have to. Hopefully. We need to go back to that. One thing you can better believe, I done called 911 sometime and they told me to hold on. Type of shit is that. Or they ask you, is it an emergency? What is the problem? And you say, and the kids say, well, my mom and my dad have whooped me. Huh? Really? The police come faster for that than they do when you say it's some shooting in the neighborhood. That shit make sense. You come to the house after a parent done whoop their children to discipline them, and you ask the child, what happened? Do you want to press charges? No, you ain't gonna press charges. You're gonna take it with you. You're gonna take that child home with you, and you raise him. Tell the judge, take the child home with them, and you raise them. Tell the DA, take the children with you, and you raise them. I bet you that should have changed quick. It'll change quick. I bet you they wouldn't last 2 hours. No, we got to come back together as a community, and we got to raise these children, and we got to get this crap out their lives. We got to get it out their lives. These kids are food. And they're food because they are too easily influenced by others. That's something we want to allow it to be. We want to allow it to be influenced by other people. Right. Because, like I said, when you took that shit home, it was a treatment in there that was part of your program called Whoop Your Ass. Let's use that medication again, everybody. Let's go back to using that. That's an old folks remedy. Whoop your ass. Let's try that old folks remedy and see how fast these mental challenges go away. Let's do that. Let's try that one. That's the only one we ain't went back to. Ain't that something? That's the only one we haven't went back to. So let's start protecting our loved ones like we supposed to. Especially the ones that's incarcerated. Because if you look at this story of this young man, and I hope like hell somebody have him on their show. He ain't got to come here. Wherever he go, I want him to go tell his story. Yes. That's what these kids need to hear, so they can better understand what we're dealing with. Go tell your story, young man. All right? So, this is Big Jeff.
This is Shanita.
And we're coming to you live from No Days Off Radio Productions with the #1 show in the land, Nothing But the Truth. And we're going to be out of him because we are really telling you nothing but the truth. And we out.
We out.
What you got going on, little girl?
Nitty Beats having a little party tonight. I might go stop by.